Okay, before we're hitting the fighting games, we're checking out this small little room, so tell us about this room here, Andy.
This is a little lounge area that we have here for our players that order food that want to sit and watch their friends play games. So we have a little rest area here. We have 2 tables and some space available for people to bring in console games, so if they want to play some console games, as well as the arcade games, they can bring stuff in and play together while they're eating, or they can bring in DVDs and watch them and stuff. So again, our emphasis here is community and the relationship of the members together. So we kind of have this as a little space for people to hang out together, relax, bring in some DVDs, or if they have a video camera, they can plug it into the TV and edit it and make sure that the recording is going okay. So we have this as a little side room for people to take a break before they make their way into the fighting game room, which we'll see next.
Yes, let's go. All right, now we're here in the main part of fighting game heaven right here, and as you can see, looks exactly like a Japanese arcade with all the nice candy cabinets where you can play, you get your own TV, you get your own awesome little control panel. So Andy, show us around.
Yes, this is our fighting game room that we have touched upon here. We're in the process of moving some things around and doing some renovations for Street Fighter 4, which we're hopefully be getting this month when it's released in Japan. The center of the room, when you walk in, you'll see our banner, our Tokyo Game Action banner. That's the original banner that was on the side of the building of the coffee shop when we first opened. A lot of people don't know that, but that's a little piece of TJ history we threw up on the back wall. When you walk in, immediately to your left, to the right we're doing our other stuff, so the right is a little bit messy, but to the left, first game we have here is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Oh, yeah. And as we touched upon, all of our games here are versus style. You have one control panel to yourself and you have one screen to yourself. And the benefit to having the control panel and one screen to yourself is you cannot read your opponent's moves. You have to concentrate completely on what's going on the screen. And the other benefit is you have more space to relax and sit down and you not have to be cramped. Our opinion is that since all the Japanese fighting games are manufactured in Japan, that we should remain 100% faithful to the way they were meant to be played. And this style and this setup is the way they were meant to be played, so every fighting game we have is done versus style. So to our left we have Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Starting immediately to the left in the center console of fighting games, and these are all the one-player sides. Player 2 is on the other side. We have Melty Blood, Akidanza, version B, revised, the revision that came out. We have Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Capcom vs. SNK 2. We have Guilty Gear, of course. Guilty Gear is a huge, huge success in America. Although it's still considered a Japanese game, it's what we think the reason it's so successful is that the characters are immediately recognizable by Street Fighter. Street Fighter characters are very well known, but one of the major appeals of Guilty Gear is that the characters are flamboyant and they touch upon something that reaches all of our American fans, and that's being wild, outgoing, colorful, and unique. So Guilty Gear not only has great characters, but the engine is unique to Guilty Gear, so it's very, very popular.
And it's got Bridget. Bridget is the man.
Yeah, literally.
Yes.
We have Tekken 5, Tekken 6 we're hoping to get in soon. The reason we held up on Tekken 6 is because we are putting our entire fighting game budget towards Street Fighter 4, but we are hoping we can get Tekken 6 in the future. To the right of that is King of Fighters 11. We have King of Fighters 11, which is obviously a wonderful game. King of Fighters, although popular with us, hasn't quite reached the American audience that we would hope, but our die-hard King of Fighters fans appreciate the fact that they can come in and play it on the original incarnation. So that's great. And to the right, we have Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. We do swap out Anniversary Edition once in a while for tournaments. But again, the games series that started all Street Fighter, the last incarnation of the series was Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and this is still as popular as it is when it first came out, because this and Third Strike are about 50-50 as far as popularity. The Third Strike players, of course, will play Super Turbo, but the Super Turbo purists prefer this over Third Strike. And with Street Fighter 4 going back to the roots of the Street Fighter series, we will have what we feel will be a very successful game, and we're very excited and looking forward to Street Fighter. I, of course, am a huge Street Fighter fan, and I love Capcom, so I'm very excited about it.
Now, who's your character in Street Fighter?
In Third Strike, my character is Q. I used to play Ken, but as a joke, I started playing Q about 4 years ago, and I said, well, he's the worst character in the game, I'm going to get good with him and see if I can beat people. And from there on out, he became my main character. I played with him in Japan. I've won some very big matches with him in Japan, so Q is now my main character. In Super Turbo...
You're one of the only ones with this. This is Grandmaster Challenge. I've only they recently got the ROM of this online. This is the first time seeing an actual machine for it.
Yeah, the original Japanese version is very, very hard to find. I think we're one of the few in the country that have it, if not the only one.
Really good version of it. If you ever get to come up here and play it, you gotta play it.
And my characters here are Ryu and DJ is my main. Once in a while I'll use Sagat, and I'll use Fei Long, but I like DJ and Ken are probably my two favorites. And you'll see some posters scattered throughout the wall here. We have our Puzzle Fighter poster in the back, our Tokyo Game Action Band. To the far left over today, you'll see the Togeki 2006 poster. We are fortunate enough to have the ability to send teams to Japan to compete in the annual fighting game tournament over there called Togeki Super Battle Opera. We sent a team in 2006 and sent a team in 2007. We did not send a team this year, but we are sending a team next year for Street Fighter 4. So again, Street Fighter 4 is eating our entire operating budget for fighting games, but again, we think it's going to be a huge revolution as the original Street Fighter was. We have a lot of people coming out of the woodwork for Street Fighter 4. People that have probably not gone into an arcade since they were in their teens have called up and said, oh, I heard you got a Street Fighter 4 ones are coming in. So I think Capcom's smart in designing this game to have the original Street Fighter feel to bring back that original audience. So this has concluded the gaming aspect of TGA. We have some other things going on here that we can show you a little bit later on once we get out of the fighting game room. But this is pretty much what we have for video games. We are also considering some other fighting games in the future. We're constantly upgrading our current lineup. So when you come to TGA, you might see something new every time you visit. And again, the most important thing you'll notice at TGA is the community. You got the chance to meet the community members, so we do welcome you to come on in. We'll be happy to have you here. We have what's called an all-day pass. It's $26 to play all the games you want all day. Or you can play single games, but we would highly encourage you to pay the $26 to the all-day pass and enjoy the games as much as you want.
Alright, so we're going to go and check out some of the other stuff. But if we don't get a chance, Andy, thank you very much for showing us around.
Thank you for filming.
Amazing place up here. We haven't even played one game yet, which is pretty funny. We've just been talking about back and forth about fighting games. So we're going to go and play some games, most importantly. Everything looks in great condition.
Well, thank you.
Great place. Can't wait to try it out and definitely be coming back in the future.
I hope so. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and I'll turn it over to them, and they're going to be a lot more interesting than I am to talk to. So have fun. If you need anything, come again.
All right, thanks, sir. Thanks again.